You have been listening to the Business Happy Hour with Frank Coto, Ryan Pelky, and Doug Ford. Now, back to the show.
Hey, Tampa Bay, welcome to the Business Happy Hour social media segment. You might be watching us live. If so, get ready. It's going to be a good one. We just finished up the radio broadcast. It's coming out on Sunday morning. In studio, we have a great guest, And even though he might be on the Democratic ticket, he might be. I'm not sure.
Still great.
He's still great. He's making Tampa great again, is what he said. But
Hillsborough County.
Yeah, well, you said the whole place.
Yeah, that's true.
It didn't say MAGA, it said TAGA. So
he did have a good point to say that the police department should not be political.
Yeah, I loved that. So his name, by the way, is Gary Pruitt. Okay, he's running for sheriff of Hillsborough County, taking over for G, whatever we call him, G. We had that conversation in the pre-planning meeting with you, Gary. We were talking about there's a lot of politics these days in law enforcement, and you had a great opinion of that there really shouldn't be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you get stopped or you deal with law enforcement, you should know that you have a fair shake. And right now, politics prevail, especially in Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department. Politics prevail because the sheriff is elected, so he's elected by other politicians. Because even my opponent, which I don't have a problem saying his name, Chad Cronister, is endorsed by a lot of politicians who want a little piece of Hillsborough County. So they want to be on the winning side. And that's a shame because you won't get a fair shake if you're not wealthy in Hillsborough County.
Well, what's normal? Are there not all sheriffs are elected, or is it they counties pick and choose? How's that work?
There's Amendment 10 that is coming out that will be on the ballot. Talks about how we should still have our clerks of courts or sheriffs and so on and so forth elected by the people, which I don't have a problem with them being elected by the people, because if you have them appointed, they're going to be appointed by politicians who might be on the take for somebody else. But what I found really interesting is I got a postcard in the mail. I thought I was on the do not send me any of your crap list, but
sorry about that.
Unfortunately, sorry about that. But anyway, and Sheriff or Chad Cronister's pictures on this postcard. Chad Cronister was appointed to the position by the governor, and he's saying let's vote for Amendment 10 so that we won't have these appointments. So it's like, appointed. Wow, talk about irony. So yeah. It's disgusting.
So I don't disagree with an election, but it would be so crazy to say that certain positions are not allowed to run with a party affiliation.
100%.
Wouldn't that be great? I mean, you say, hey, sheriff, you run. 20 of you can run.
What we talked about America. Like, why do we need to be Republicans or Democrats?
Sheriffs should be just like the judges, straight down the middle and nonpartisan. But we're not. You have to hop in bed, just like now with my opponent and a lot of people that are supporting him. It's a big political bed. What I want to do is become sheriff. I just want to start yanking people out of the bed and say, guess what? This is Hillsborough County. I'm Gary Pruitt, and we're not going to play those games.
Oh, man. You know who you just reminded me of? Grady Judd.
Yes.
The no nonsense.
I like it.
I appreciate that.
Have you met him? I'm sure you have.
I've seen him. I've never met him in person.
Yeah.
But
he's a no BS guy.
Yeah.
I wish there was. I wish that's the way all elections were. Get rid of the Democrats, Republicans. I mean, this has gotten to the point now where it's just an absolute joke.
You know how he said Democrats first? Did you notice that?
and I'll even say this. Whenever I see an endorsement for my opponent, especially somebody that's in office, I see an endorsement for my opponent, first thing I do is go to because that's 10 years that you can look up their campaign donations. So I go to their campaign donations. Let me check, see, wow, DeBartolo's gave them money, and now they're endorsing DeBartolo's son-in-law. So it's like, wow, let's just stop this silliness.
Right. Stop letting politics be bought. Stop running the party lines.
I don't know if that's ever going to happen, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's ever
absolutely it will. November 6th, when you vote for me, and that's when.
So this is the first thing you've ever ran for.
Absolutely.
Wow. How was that? I mean, is it tough?
It's extremely tough because when I started to run, I had a senator, and I won't say his name, but I had a senator ask me who I was endorsed by, and I said, the citizens of Hillsborough County, the voters. He looked at me disappointed, and I thought, and I told him, I'm like, that's sad that you looked at me like that, because that's exactly who I should be in bed with as citizens of Hillsborough County.
So I got a really funny story that happened this week, and this is I tried calling you right away, but of course you didn't answer your telephone.
Sorry.
So
Of course.
it's 7:00 at night. I'm at home. I got my shirt off. I'm sitting on the couch with my 18-month-old son. We're watching the news, and Popeye the Sailor Man. I get a knock on the door. I go to the door, crack it open, and the dogs are barking, and it's this guy, and he said, hey, can I speak to you if you're the owner of the house? I said, sure. So I said, let me go throw a shirt on. I throw my Trump shirt on. Okay, throw my Trump visor on. Didn't know what was going on. Walk outside, and it's a guy representing Bill Nelson and Janet Cruz. You should have seen the man's face. He's like, what can I help? What can I do for you? And he goes, well, I'm actually I'm here politically. I'm here for Janet Cruz and Bill Nelson.
Oh my God!
I said, look, man. This was just I had no idea who you were. But I'm going to tell you, we're miles apart.
Ryan,
we're miles apart.
Ryan, you told him he was in the wrong neighborhood, didn't you?
I said, this is a non-solicitation neighborhood. Your ass about to get shot.
There you go.
And I believe everything. I live 2 doors down, so he was calling me to tell me so I could get my shirt on. I'm sure.
I couldn't believe it, because I haven't worn the shirt in probably 6 months.
Yeah.
You know,
mine's a little tight on me.
Mine was too, man. I had my dad bod kicking.
What's been happening, guys? 6 months? That's terrible.
Isn't that funny, though?
That
Of all
is
people
funny.
to greet the door.
I would have grabbed a shotgun and had the shirt. Hey, man!
No, I really did try to call you and be like, hey,
Frank,
go put your Trump shirt on. You're
Hey,
about
Frank,
to get solicited by a Bill
you're not
Nelson
supposed to
guy.
laugh at your own jokes, remember?
No, that's right. But I'm so funny. I do laugh at my own jokes. But listeners, I'm sure you enjoy it, right? But no, so Gary, what else do we want to tell Tampa Bay about you running? Anything do we want to get across to the voters? I mean, we've told them you are a real guy and you're a legitimate candidate, and we like you. But what else do you want to tell them?
Absolutely. One of the things, I have 4 main priorities should I be elected to sheriff. Number 1 is diversity. I believe in diversity in law enforcement. It's kind of funny because I preach that at every forum I go to about the command staff at Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. When I started preaching it, I said the command staff is about 90% white and about 75% male. So it's a white male-dominated command staff. So now, when I say it, they've actually expanded the people that are on the command staff. They've added captains and such, so they can put some diversity in there. So they're trying to fool the citizen that may Google it, because I always say Google it.
Google it. Yeah.
Google it. So, and then when I Googled it, and it's like, oh wow, look, they have never been in there before, but now here they are.
But you would know, and the general citizen wouldn't know that.
Right. You're exactly
right. You
right.
know the positions that were there and who these people are.
You're exactly right. But you know, they talk about the deputy shortage in Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County has over 3,500 employees. How can you be short if you're treating your employees well that nobody's saying, hey, come work for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department? It's like there were 200 some odd slots short, meaning the men and women that come to your house when you're calling 911 because the Trump supporters chasing around.
Yeah, because the Trump guy's chasing
when you're calling 911, because staff is never short. It's the men and women that actually serve you that they're like, they're kind of important, but if we can't fill them, we can't fill them. There's squads of 12 that should have 12 people. They're hitting the street with 5 or 6 people.
Wow. So they paying out a lot more overtime then?
Oh no, God no.
Really?
No.
So it's just a shortage on the street.
Short.
Holy
Absolutely.
crap.
And that's the reason, if you've seen lately in the media where they've reduced the hiring. Now you can have smoked marijuana in 2 years as opposed to 3. You can have tattoos that show.
They're loosening the restrictions.
Only in the public sector. Only in the public sector.
Absolutely. No, for deputies, so they're loosening the restrictions because they have to find employees. But if you have 3,500 employees, every one of them doesn't have one friend that may want to work for the sheriff's department.
Right. Recruit from within. That's all businesses do that.
And you say that. I actually have a couple people that I won't say their names, but one has a son who encouraged to go work for the Tampa Police Department. Now, don't get me wrong. If you start with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department today, 30 years you can retire.
Whoa.
Tampa Police Department, you start today, 20 years you can retire. It's 20
Oh, wow.
and out. It's 20 and out.
Oh.
So could that be a problem?
You start at
Absolutely.
20?
You got a pension
Yeah,
after 20 years?
absolutely.
You get
a
pension in
after
20 years?
Oh yeah.
You start at
absolutely.
20,
How
you're
much?
done at 40.
It's 20 and
50%?
out.
Oh, my God.
It's
I'd be retired
3
already.
point some odd percent, 3.25, 3.3% of however many years you've done. So if you've done 20, it's about 60
You start at 20, take 2 years. Do you need a 4-year degree or 2-year degree?
No, with Tampa Police Department, you need 2 years.
So
2 years
you
degree.
goes 20 years old, you start by 40.
But
you retire.
military-
You know,
as
look at
well.
us. We're acting interested in this.
Yeah,
Come on,
it's
shut
20
up.
years.
No, but it's amazing.
No,
It's
but-
good.
But no, we talk about shortages again. You and I can't hire somebody to save our lives.
I'd go work for TPD guys, not these guys. Digging ditches.
Yeah.
Roofing.
Frank said the same thing.
I'm on Leo Affairs. I'm on Leo Affairs forums, and one of the things that they talk about on there is you actually qualifying for sheriff, and it's amazing because there's somebody on here that says I'm voting for him just for the mere fact that he's from a patrol standpoint.
Yeah.
Where did Chronister come from?
Yeah, what is Chronister's background?
Chronister became important, and here's the thing: if you ever paid attention, because I always say Google the command staff.
Right.
Well, when he became the a major, when he got promoted, he got married to Nikki DeBartolo, and all of a sudden he was a great cop. You know, because when you marry well, that makes you a great cop. It does, you can suck beforehand, but you're a great cop now. And I don't know if he sucked beforehand, but you become a great cop because of who you're married. But what I found really interesting was when he became major, his bio that they put on the sheriff's department's website. Lo and behold, guess who it mentioned? His wife by first and last name.
Of course
And
it
yet,
did.
and it does now if you Google him. That's the same bio, except for now he's the sheriff. So, but I'm like, that's interesting because I have friends on the sheriff's department. Hey, you guys, your wives weren't important enough to put their names in here? No, they weren't because they weren't buying anything. So, along those lines, when David G. left, he ran in 2016. Well, he was on the ballot. Nobody ran against him. 2016, but lo and behold, he decides to leave in 2017, May of 2017, decides he's going to finally go ahead and retire. Why couldn't you retire in 2016 instead of run? Why didn't Chad run then if he wanted to be sheriff? Well, I'll tell you why he didn't run then, because my opponent wears his uniform when he campaigns so people know who he is. They know he's the sheriff. I call him the Chad Chronister real estate signs that you see all over town. Because this guy's
huge.
He's trying to sell himself. You've been sheriff for a year. September 30th, appointed September 30th, 2017, and until November 13th of 2018. But right now, you've just been sheriff for just over a year. If you've done such a good job, why would you need to try to get your name out on every street corner? How about, hey, guess what? I just did a good job. When I'm sheriff for less than 3 months, you'll know who I am. And not only will you vote for me in 2020, I don't believe anybody will run against me.
I love it. I love it.
Another little snippet from that site. This is from the Leo Affairs website, and it says, we had 5 people all weekend, from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to cover 4 zones in the sheriff's office.
You're exactly right, and that's what I'm saying. They're so short, but I mean, we can say it's because, well, the retirement for one is a lot different, 10 years difference on the other. But if you love your career and you actually want to go to work, and that's what a sheriff has to do. You got to say, hey, guess what? Even though I'm the sheriff, I know what the men and women that serve you are supposed to do. And here's going to be the huge difference with me is not only will I know, my command staff will know, the people that work for them, it will be a cater to the deputy, not the deputy catering to staff. And that's what's exactly happening now. A lot of people don't even know this. You know, if you go out to Mar and get your law enforcement degree, and we're friends, I can just make you a major. I can make you anything I want.
What?
Yeah, there's a major Perotti with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department has 0 law enforcement experience. Well, colonel, my bad. He was a major when they made him, but he's a colonel now. 0 law enforcement experience. He went out and got his law degree. He was he had a law degree. He was a lawyer for the Sheriff's Department. Went out and got his police certification, and David G. made him a major. and then promoted him. So how do you, as somebody that says, hey, I'm going to get my butt handed to me in the backyard tonight, think he knows exactly what I'm doing? He will. When Gary Pruitt becomes sheriff, they'll all know what those deputies do, and they should.
Wow, that's a great point.
Good one, Gary. That was a really good one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll tell you what, this is making me want to buy some fireworks and go shoot them because I don't think anyone's going to respond.
Just don't speed. Just don't speed.
That means you can't
speed. I forgot where we were.
I'm going to speed from the fireworks shop.
So, no, you got to know that if there's an accident...
I'm going to speed from Pyro Junkie to my house, and then I'm going to shoot some fireworks. And nobody's going to care.
If there's an accident, you see 2 or 3 police officers there, no, you can speed in that area.
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So are we short in both Hillsborough and Tampa? Or?
No, Tampa's not short.
Tampa's not short. It's just Hillsborough.
Not for the most part. None of the other agencies are short.
It's such a smaller district, though.
So don't speed until we get past Bush.
Yeah,
as soon as I hit Bush, I'm done. I'm doing a $1.20. So,
absolutely.
Hey, Gary, I know we're short on time. I did want to ask you about this because this is one of the only laws that I know differentiates between Hillsborough County and Tampa, and I heard that this is going to change. But the whole big thing that with this medical marijuana, now you're seeing we've got dispensaries. I don't know, are they in the city and the county? I don't know that truly, but one's right on the line. But question is, Tampa made it, they decriminalized marijuana
a couple of years ago,
right?
Yeah,
but Hillsborough hasn't yet.
Yeah,
is that?
But now the DEA just did.
But now have you heard about that too? The DEA just supposedly took it off of Schedule 1.
No, they just moved it from Schedule 1. It just happened today, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't heard about that. But let me tell you what I think about that.
Yeah.
I think we should legalize marijuana in the state, to be honest with you. As the chief jailer, or somebody that wants to be the chief jailer, why do I want to fill up my jails with somebody that wants to smoke a blunt on my neighbor wants to smoke a blunt?
Right.
Amen.
What my problem comes into is now he wants to smoke a blunt, but he has to go to the doper on the corner to do that. So now all of a sudden, but where's he going to go? He's going to go to probably the minority neighborhoods and buy that.
Yep.
So now what have we done? We've caused crime to move into that neighborhood because he wants to get high. You know what? I like to drink. Mick Ultra is my preferred beer. That's not a commercial, but
but if they want to send him a case, that's okay.
But here's the thing: let's legalize it.
Yeah.
Let's tax it. Let's treat it.
Yeah. We're all in favor of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you have a question from Berlander?
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh, I cannot forget about this question that I wanted to ask you. I was almost going to.
This is Berlander's question, by the way, for everyone that's wondering where this question came from.
Because I have no idea about this question.
No, it's a good one though. So he was wanting to ask Gary. So a lot of people, they like to monitor the transmissions for the police departments. Like you got a radio and you can listen to the dispatch and whatnot. But lately, a lot of the channels have been encrypted. So what's your take on the dispatch channels staying open to the public? He was saying obviously the TAC channels, TAC channel, can be encrypted for officer safety. That makes sense.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
in general, there are a lot of people who like to listen to it. And what's your thought on that?
Well, here's the thing, and I'm probably going to lose a vote on that because I believe we should keep them encrypted, and here's why: it's because the media wants to get there. The media wants to beat law enforcement to the hot scene so they can get it on TV. How we react, they want to get involved and then make us look bad. It's all about making law enforcement look bad. So, do I think that we should keep them encrypted? Absolutely.
Sorry.
That's right. Because me as a law enforcement officer, I want to go do a good job. I don't want to have to feel that the media van is chasing me down the street, which has happened more than once, where they're trying to beat me to the scene because they know where the scene is, or beat me completely to the scene. So
you're a Democrat and against the media.
Let me tell you this. I think the media has the opportunity to do a great job, but that's not what sells. And here's the thing, body cameras. I'm huge about body cameras. Hillsborough County doesn't have them. We will have, should I become sheriff. But what I don't like is the fact that we have a TV show of cop haters, in my opinion, that want to show the body camera footage, the raw footage, because do you think they want to do it because my gentleman to the right here, he is doing 10 miles an hour over? No, they want to do it because they want to see a dead cop, or they want to see me shooting somebody. They want to find out how we can cause more division against law enforcement and the citizens.
And you want to do it so that way for the liability, so that way you can prove that your officers aren't being racist cops. And I want to say one thing to his point. I know I get on jobs all the time, and I can't stand it when customers are looking over my shoulder. You know, it drives me crazy. The other day, I'm out on an excavator operating this big old machine, and I got a guy sitting with a straw hat on in a chair literally the entire time, chewing tobacco for the entire job while I'm sitting there working. And he, well, why don't you put your seatbelt on?
I want to know, where does this guy...
Did he clock you in and out?
Where does this guy get his jobs? He gets his van stolen.
Word of mouth.
And actually, that's true. We are the highest rated plumbing company in the entire probably in the whole state, as far as I
would
know.
agree.
I don't think there's anyone that has higher rating than us.
That one was in Plant City, though, wasn't it?
No. This was in Carrollwood, Florida. It's true story. I'm digging in a drain field, and this guy is sitting on his. He was a retired, very nice guy. But no, it is irritating when you got people looking over your shoulder when you're trying to do a good job. It stresses you out more. And when you're in a stressful environment already,
make mistakes.
You don't need to have added stress for no reason.
Absolutely, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, there's my plumbing story for the day.
That was a good one. So Gary Pruitt, soon to be sheriff of Hillsborough County.
I appreciate that.
Sorry,
Thank you for
Berlander.
coming on.
Yeah,
thank you. But sorry, hey, Gary, it's only one vote. You get. You might actually. I think you're up 3. So.
Oh, okay, I'm good then.
Yeah, just so you know, that was the first question Berlander's ever asked in 2 years. So.
Yeah.
Wow. And I lost his vote. He'll never ask again. You're welcome.
He just said he cares. He just said you're getting 2 votes. He's going to vote twice like a true Democrat.
Oh my God! Oh wow!
You converted us, Gary. You're going to get 6 votes now.
Oh my God!
Oh, I'm laughing at my own jokes again.
Oh God. No, that was a great one.
So, hey, Gary, we will have you back on. We had a lot of fun with you.
I appreciate
a lot.
it.
And I will say, if you go back and listen to our shows, there's not a whole lot of Democrats we agree with.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah, so he's 1 to about 100.
And I've converted you. Wow. I am special.
Maybe 1, but usually we just go in the booth and go R. I'll slide that D on that one.
I don't think he's Democrat at all. To be honest with you.
About to kick us out of here.
He's a man's man, and we appreciate it, guys. Gary Pruitt for sheriff. You guys can check him out vote Gary Pruitt PRUITT.com. Gary, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Y'all for having me.
Appreciate it. We had a great time. See you guys from the Business Happy Hour.